Hey guys, it's Tina and I am back, and in this video today I am actually multitasking. So I'm accomplishing a few things with this look that I am wearing. So in my last two videos, I will link them over here, you should check them out. I wore a very simple eyeshadow look with a bold fuchsia lip, and it was a very simple look. Like, I threw it on in like 5 or 10 minutes or so. It was no muss, no fuss. The lip was what was really selling the look, and a couple of you guys actually asked for a tutorial on the look, and I was like, I'll do you one better, because it's a very simple look, guys. I am gonna show you what my everyday makeup routine is to go to work. So this is my everyday face. No, not this, but what I'm gonna show you first is my everyday simple face. So if you're just going for daily 5-minute face, that's what I would do. And then I'm gonna amp it up to this look that I am wearing now. And this is the same eyeshadow look that I was wearing in those two videos. Sans the lip. I switched up the lip because I didn't want to wear a bright fuchsia lip today, but I left the lip details in those videos, and any lip that you wear will do, because this look can be paired with any lip combination. If you want to go bold, bright, or you want to go very toned down, just lip gloss, because that's what I'm wearing today, because it's an everyday look for me today. I'm headed out to work. Here's where the multitasking comes in. I am actually using the Vida palette from Melt Cosmetics. I know you're like, huh? Yes, this palette here that you see loud, proud, and in your face is the palette that I used for this look. I used the 3 neutral shades. So this is accomplishing one of the looks from this palette, because I am going to be showcasing the 2 palettes here, the Muerte palette and the Vida palette, a little bit more on my channel, because I can't wait to play with those. But this is going to show you how you can accomplish this very simple look from one of those palettes. And this is not just that palette. You can grab 3 shades from your collection that are similar to the shades that I'm going to show you. These are more cool tone neutral shades. They have more of a gray neutral undertone. They're not your typical warm tones, which I don't prefer. I prefer a cool tone eye. Alright, so now I'm gonna stop yapping so we can get into the video. So first, you're gonna see me accomplish a very simple basic face for every day, because that's what I wear to work, and then we're gonna amp it up to this look using that Vida palette. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright guys, so as usual, we're starting off with a clean, freshly washed face, and I'm gonna go in with my vitamin C serum. So this is from Timeless. It's the 20% C plus E plus ferulic acid serum, and I'm gonna apply that all over my face and allow that to absorb. And I usually wait about 5 minutes for this to absorb into my skin while I check my eyebrows to see if I need to tweeze them. So this would be my everyday routine, and I'm gonna allow that to sit on my skin. And while that happens, I'm gonna go in with my primer for my brows. This is from Sephora. It's the Beauty Amplifier eyeshadow primer. They have discontinued this, and now it's available in a doe foot applicator style tube rather than a squeeze tube, but I have backups on backups of this because I really like it for my brows. So I have really oily skin, and I find that my brows slip around throughout the day. So what I do to help prevent that is apply an eyeshadow primer to my brows. And this actually helps with the application of the product as well, because the pencil now has something to stick to instead of just bare skin. And this way my eyebrows just don't slip around throughout the day. So I'll brush through the brows with the spoolie end of my pencil just to get the product moved through that, and also to, you know, form the brows in the place. So I'm going in with my brow pencil. This is the Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit. It is in the shade 4.5. And I'll show you how quickly I move through my routine. It's like a 5 to 10 minute routine for my very basic face for every day. And I'm talking right now, so I may add a couple of minutes to it by actually speaking. But I lightly outline my brows. I'll just make sure that the tail has a decent shape, and then I'll go in with the spoolie side and work the product through so it doesn't look as harsh. And I'll do the same to the other side. And we'll just speed through this side because you don't need to see me do it twice, right? And then once that's down, I'll go in with my moisturizer. So this is from La Mer. You do not need this moisturizer. It's the oil absorbent lotion, and I'm just using it up, okay? I will not be, well, to be honest, I might repurchase it. I'm being honest right now. But you do not need this moisturizer. I've just been using it, and it feels so good on my skin. It smells good, and it leaves my skin feeling divine. But it's like a really high priced moisturizer. Actually, let me check the price because I'm out here tripping. Oh, they tripping. So they reformulated this. They discontinued this specific one. And now they have the moisturizing matte lotion. And it retails for $285. Who are they? $280. You know what? $285 you can. Absolutely not. So we just gonna use this up and keep it pushing because no ma'am, no, what? So an extra step that I've been doing is grabbing a little bit of eye cream. So this is the C Tango multivitamin eye cream from Drunk Elephant. So I'm gonna apply that under my eyes but also on my eyelids. I think we tend to neglect our eyelids, and my eyelids, especially in the winter time, are extremely dry and flaky. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit of that all around the eye contour. And it's probably not meant for use on my eyelids, but hear what? My eyelids are suffering, and I do try to moisturize them at night so that when I go in the morning, they're nice and hydrated. But the winter is not here for any of us, child. It is, no ma'am. It is not at all. So we're gonna let that absorb into the skin. And instead of going in with foundation, I know you guys are like, what? Where's the foundation? I'm actually using my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and the shade I've been using is Deep. So I'm trying to finish this up. And for every day, instead of actually using foundation, I've just been using this concealer. Now I use a pretty decent amount, so I'm not gonna front like, oh, I don't use a lot. But I'm trying to use it up. Otherwise, I would go in with one of my favorite foundations. This one is the EX1 Invisiwear Liquid Foundation. But we're not going to do that today. We're just going to go ahead and do what I have been doing. And that's going in with my Tarte Concealer. And then I'll just buff that out with my Marc Jacobs The Face 3 brush. And this concealer works really well as a foundation. Now, if it wasn't so pricey, I don't know. I gotta check if the actual foundation that they released for this, so the tape shape, the face tape, whatever they happen to name the foundation, is it the same formulation? Can I expect the same kind of coverage and texture? Probably not, because a concealer is gonna be more heavy duty, high coverage. But this blends out really nicely without feeling heavy on my skin. Like, it doesn't feel heavy and weighed down. Like, it doesn't feel like a full coverage product, which I really appreciate. And like I said, I'm trying to use that up, and it just works really well on my skin. Alright, now that I've applied that, I kind of stay away from my nose because of my nose ring. I just can't be bothered. I would go in with a bit of eyeshadow primer. After that, eye cream has had a chance to absorb a bit. So this is my anti-aging primer potion from Urban Decay. And I'm going to apply that because my eyelids get very oily throughout the day. So I hydrate them to make sure that they're nice and comfortable and moisturized. But I want to prevent them from getting really greasy. And that happens throughout the day, so I'm just going to apply my eyeshadow primer. And then I would go in with mascara. So this is my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. So I'm just going to apply that to my upper lashes. And I go in pretty generously because again, this would be what I would wear every day, so I want my lashes to stand out. So we go in with a good coat and a half of this. Nothing too crazy though, because I'm not trying to like really overdo it. I'm not the spider lash kind of person, but I still want my lashes to stand out against the rest of my face, you know what I mean? So that's what we'll do, and then I'll go in with just a little bit on my lower lashes because they can get hidden, and we just want them to stand out just a little bit. And then I would go in with a little bit of powder. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Airbrush Flawless Finish foundation powder, and the shade is Deep. And I would apply that all over my face using my Smashbox Kabuki brush. Then I'd put my earrings in, and we'd go in with a little bit of cleaning solution around my piercing to remove any of the makeup, because we need to keep that nice and clean. And that's it. This would be my everyday face. Very simple, very basic, nothing extreme. That is literally all I would do for every day. All right, now let's go ahead and amp it up. I don't like applying makeup with my earrings on. Don't question me, my logic and stuff. But all right, so I would pump up the eyes a little bit for my next step, and I would go in with some concealer under my brows. So I'm using my ColourPop No Filter Concealer, and I'd apply that directly under my brows. And then I'd go in with a concealer brush to create a sharp outline under my brows. This is actually a new brush that I'm trying from the Makeup Shack. It's the T72 brush. And I just create a sharp outline under my brows. When I'm using eyeshadow, I like to make sure that my brows are nice and crisp. So that's when the concealer would come into play. And then I just pounce that out using a makeup sponge just to blend that over my eyelids. And then for this look, I'm going to go in with a little bit of my MAC Paint Pot. This is in the shade Laying Low. I know, such a throwback, right? So I'm going to apply that all over my lid. That's going to act as an eyeshadow base and also as a primer. And it's kind of like our first eyeshadow step as well, because it's going to blank out our lids, but give us a little bit of coverage because this is a medium beige shade. And I'll blend that out with my blend-in concealer brush from Sonia Kashuk. And for the very simple eye look, I'm going to grab the Vida palette from Melt Cosmetics. And this palette has a trio of neutral shades. So I'm going to go in with Atole, which is the beige neutral shade. And I'm going to buff that all the way in my crease and over my lid. So this is going to be our base shade, and I'm using a Sonia G Detail Pro Brush for this, and this is just going to give us a quick wash of color. And again, this is a neutral beige shade. It's matte in finish, and any beige shade that you have in your collection will do, anyone that you're comfortable with. And then I'm going to go in with this green tone brown shade. So this is Agua Ardiente. And I'm just going to buff that very lightly in the outer V area and bringing it into the crease very lightly. So I apply the majority of the color on the outer V, buff it in using circular motions, and then I'll use windshield wiper motions just to bring that color in to the crease and give a little bit of shape to that socket line. And then once I have that down, I'll go in with the Chocolate shade, which is the dark brown. And again, you just need very little of this color because it's a dark shade and we don't want to have this become too intense at all. And I'll clean my brush off and then lightly blend that color using circular motions, buffing motions in that outer V area, keeping it very subtle. This got a little bit too loud, but that's fine. Just keep it very subtle by blending and buffing that color out. And then I'm going to grab the Soul shade, which is this bright, like tangerine. It's very loud, so I'm going to clean my brush off a little bit so I just get a touch of it. And this is just an all over shadow brush from Zoeva. And we'll just apply that very lightly to the lid space. Again, using very little color because we don't want this to become a impactful shade at all. We're just using it to brighten up the lid. And because I have warmer undertones, this is gonna work out great. And then I'll grab the shade that we used before, which is Atole, and apply it again to the lid. And now when we put the orange on and put this on top, it gives the lid a little bit of a lift, so it looks lighter than it did before when we used it as an all over shade. So you mix and match the colors to get the desired effect. And I'll go back in and just blend the dark shade so it doesn't get overwhelmed by that lighter shade on the lid. And that's pretty much it for the eyes, but I'm gonna go in with a little bit of highlighter under my brow. So for the highlight under the brow, I'll grab rice paper from MAC. You just need very little for this. And this is a MAC 252. And I'm just barely tapping that under the high point of the arch of my brow and blending it out. That's gonna give us a pop of shimmer under the brow, but we don't want that to be too loud or overwhelming. So we're really gonna buff that in, but that's gonna give us that contrast that we need right under the brow. And then because I went in with eyeshadow, I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of the concealer that we used all over the face and apply it under my eyes. So when I wear eyeshadow, I tend to want to cover up my dark circles a little bit more than if I was just doing an everyday face. So this is us bumping up the look a bit. And with bumping up the look, I apply a little bit more coverage for when I wear eyeshadow because I want the eyeshadow to look perfected and beautiful. I don't need the darkness under my eyes to distract from that because, whoo, we got a little dark under there. Nothing too crazy though, which thankfully I don't get too dark. That's a good thing because with my ethnicity, we can get dark, girl, but whew. So I have an updated DNA report. I'm gonna share that with you guys, but I'm gonna do it with another service because I don't like what's going on. So we'll blend that out under the eyes, and I'll go in with some setting powder as well. And for that, I'm using my La Prairie powder. This is the translucent powder, shade number 2. This is such a beautiful powder. I love, love, love this powder for under the eyes. It just gives me a quick boost without being cakey, since I already have like a layer of powder on that I applied over the foundation when we initially did this look. So I really need a powder that's not gonna make me look cakey after doing all of that. And then I'll go back in on the outer crease with the blending brush just to make sure we have a nice faded effect out there after applying concealer and all that. For the lashes, I'm going to use the Style Wispies from Ardell. And I'll just go ahead and pop the lashes on as close to my lash line as possible, because this is a very subtle look, so I don't want the lashes to be too in your face. And these are beautiful lashes for every day, and they have such a lightweight invisible band that they're perfect for this natural kind of look. So I'll just pop those on, get them as close to the lash line as possible, and then what I'll do is pull my lash line a little bit over the lash band so it seals them in, and it covers up some of the lash glue as well, so it's not as obvious. I don't know if you can tell, but it looks seamless when you do that. Just a little trick. And then once I have that on, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of lower lash mascara because our lashes got covered up a little bit when we went back in with our concealer and powder. So we're just gonna make sure those pop again. And my lower lash mascara in this case is the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara, which I use when I want my lower lash line to pop. So there we have it. That's it for the eyes. Very simple, very easy. And I'll go in and make sure that my lashes blend in with my false eyelashes. So squeeze them together. And I'll also make sure that the lash band looks pretty seamless. If there's a little bit of lash glue, I'll go in with my Sephora liquid liner and just go over the lash band a little bit. So I'm not touching my actual eyelid. I'm literally going over the edge of the lashes themselves because I don't want to create a liner or anything. I just want to make sure that the lash band is hidden against everything else that we got going on. So that's it for my face. Typically, I wouldn't go in with blush or anything because I don't wear eyeshadow on the daily, but if I go in with a simple eye look, I'll grab a simple blush. This is my Tarte Exposed blush, and just pop a little bit of that on my cheeks. Nothing too crazy because, again, I don't need to go overboard with color or anything on my face because that's just not my jam. And this is just gonna blend everything seamlessly together. And then for a little touch of highlight, a little glow, guys, I'm going in with a setting powder. So this is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus Airbrush Perfecting Powder. Whew, and this is the Illumination version, okay? And this is shade Rich. Simple setting powder, right? But as you buff it into your skin, it gives a little bit of glow. So I am gonna pop that on the high points of my cheeks. And I'm using a J227 foundation brush from Juvia's Place. This is literally just gonna give us a little bit of natural glow to our skin. You guys, this is not a highlighter or anything, but it's gonna give a glow because this powder has a little bit of illumination to it. It's not anything crazy. I don't do anything else. And for the lips, you can do any lip at this point because you already have a pretty simple eye on. You can do a neutral lip. You can just do a gloss, which is what I would typically do. I would pop on a gloss, so let me grab one. This is Flesh 4 from Pat McGrath. It's one of her Lush glosses. This is such a pretty brown color. This is a chocolatey brown gloss and it's so beautiful. It's not overly pigmented, but it's still gonna give you some color to your lips. So if you want to do like a sexy chocolatey glossy lip, this is perfect. So this is the finished look. Very simple, very subtle. I went from a very basic face, which I would do every day, that's literally my everyday face, to a more amped up version, which I can pair with any kind of lip. So if I wanted to go bold fuchsia or red, this look just works beautifully with that. And you can tone this down even more by using less brown on the outer lid. So you can just use a tap or use a lighter shade to really make it extremely subtle. But this is such a simple, beautiful look. And it's a look that you probably didn't expect to be able to create from this palette here. But it's a really beautiful palette to work with. I love this look. I love the result. And let me know what you guys think. Do you like this? Is this something you would do? And is this something that you could actually do? Because I know a lot of people are looking for looks that they can accomplish on their own in 5 minutes, 10 minutes without using a ton of eyeshadow. Like, people aren't going for bold, colorful looks every day. Sometimes they just want simple. And this to me is a very simple look because you can accomplish it with literally 3 eyeshadows. You just need a light beige shade, a medium brown, and a darker brown. Lid shade, crease shade, and outer V, and that's it. You can then go in with a highlight shade like I did, or you can use the light brown to do that same highlight, or use whatever highlight you have in your collection. If you're using a face highlight, like I could have used the same IT Cosmetics powder under my arch for a little bit of color, and you didn't need to mix in that extra shade that I did on the lid, because if your base shade is light enough, then you're good to go, and pop on a gloss and you're done. This is as easy as it gets for me outside of like a one and done eyeshadow look. So hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I will go ahead and leave a full list of all the products used and mentioned in this video down below in the description box, along with links on where you can pick them up. If those links take you to Ulta or Sephora, they are affiliate links, which means I will get a small sales commission if you make a purchase through those links. And if you're not comfortable with that, just shop the way you normally shop. No muss, no fuss. But if you do want to show your support, the easiest way to do that is to shop through my affiliate links. So yeah, consider it. It does help me to put right back into the channel. And I will also leave links to my Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, where you should be following me along. We have some fun over there. It's a little bit low-key right now because, you know, winter, and I am not feeling this weather at all. I'm not motivated. I'm not inspired to do stuff. You can still follow me because we have fun over there. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye, guys.